storyline might become one of the darkest and most emotionally devastating plot twists we have ever seen in Beyond the Gates. And the reason it hits so hard isn't just because Andre lied to Dani. No, soap operas are full of lies. We've seen cheating scandals, secret children, fake deaths, blackmail, all of it. But this feels different. This feels like psychological destruction disguised as romance. And honestly, I don't think Dani is emotionally prepared for what's coming. What if the man Dani trusted most was secretly helping orchestrate her entire life from the shadows? That's terrifying. And the scariest part? The clues were there the whole time. I keep replaying those scenes in my head where Andre refuses to take photos with Dani. At first, I honestly brushed it off. I thought maybe the writers were just trying to make him seem mysterious and artistic. You know the type, the creative genius who hates attention and wants to stay behind the camera. Soap operas love characters like that. But now, oh no. Looking back, those moments suddenly feel loaded with meaning. Every single time a camera pointed at Andre, his entire energy changed. Not discomfort, not annoyance, fear, real fear. And I think that backstage incident was the moment everything shifted for Dani too. Because when that assistant accidentally flashed the camera toward Andre and he completely lost it, that wasn't normal anger. That was panic, pure survival instinct. He grabbed the camera, smashed it, and then stood there looking like a man who had just watched his entire future collapse in front of him. That expression matters. The writers didn't include that reaction by accident. Because here's my theory. Andre isn't just hiding secrets from Dani. I think he's hiding an entire identity. And once Dani starts investigating his past, the story suddenly transforms from a romance drama into something almost psychological, thriller level dark. Seriously, this is the kind of soap storyline that can permanently redefine multiple characters if the writers fully commit to it. Dani discovering that almost no photographs of Andre exist from before 5 years ago? That gave me chills. Think about how impossible that is in the fashion world. This is a man supposedly connected to luxury brands, campaigns, elite photographers, talent agencies, celebrity events, and yet there's almost no visual record of him? Come on. That's not coincidence. That's intentional erasure. And the second the name Tatum appeared, I knew this storyline was about to explode. Because soap operas never introduce a mysterious legacy figure without a massive hidden connection. Never. And what makes this even more fascinating is how Tatum's disappearance mirrors Andre's behavior. One vanished publicly, the other erased himself quietly. That parallel cannot be accidental. Then Dani sees that old archive photo, Tatum standing there beside Andre. I'm sorry, but if I were Dani, I would have started spiraling immediately. Because suddenly, every lucky break in her comeback stops feeling inspirational and starts feeling manufactured. That changes everything. Her sudden return to modeling after years away from the spotlight, Andre always appearing exactly when her confidence collapsed. Competitors mysteriously disappearing from major campaigns. Doors opening too easily. Opportunities landing in her lap at suspiciously perfect moments. At first, Dani thought fate was finally rewarding her after years of pain. But now? Oh my God. Imagine realizing your comeback might have been built on sabotage, manipulation, and destroyed careers. That is soul crushing. And this is where I actually feel horrible for Dani. Because unlike some soap characters who knowingly play dirty games, I genuinely believe she thought she earned this second chance, honestly. She believed she fought her way back. Andre believed in her when nobody else did. But what if Andre wasn't rescuing her? What if he was positioning her? That distinction changes their entire relationship. And let's talk about Andre for a second, because I know fandom is going to split hard over him. Some viewers are going to say he truly loved Dani and got trapped in something bigger than himself. Others are going to say he manipulated her from day one and deserves zero sympathy. Honestly, I'm somewhere in the middle, because I do think Andre fell in love with her eventually. I really do. That's what makes this storyline tragic instead of cartoonishly evil. If he were just a cold villain, this wouldn't hurt as much. The emotional devastation comes from the possibility that Andre started using Dani and then genuinely couldn't stop loving her. That's messy. That's painful. That's soap opera gold. But let's be real for a second. Love does not erase manipulation. And if Andre truly helped destroy other models' careers to clear Dani's path to the top, I don't care how emotional his confession scene becomes later. That's monstrous behavior, especially because Dani had no idea. Can you imagine the guilt she's going to feel once she realizes innocent people may have suffered for her success? That could completely destroy her self-worth. Dani already struggles with insecurity and identity issues beneath all the glamour. The writers have hinted at that for months. So learning that her earned comeback may have been engineered through corruption could psychologically shatter her. And honestly, I think that's exactly what Tatum wants. This is where the storyline becomes truly evil. Because Dani eventually realizes something horrifying. Andre was never the final target. SHE was. That revelation completely changes the power dynamic. Tatum didn't revive Dani's career to celebrate her. Tatum rebuilt Dani specifically so she could fall harder in public later. That is next level cruelty. It's emotional sadism disguised as opportunity. And suddenly all those glamorous campaign launches, interviews, fashion events, and magazine covers become ticking time bombs. Because the higher Dani climbs, the more devastating the fall will be when the truth explodes. Can you imagine this secret getting exposed live during the biggest campaign of Dani's career? Oh, the chaos would be unbelievable. Fashion executives turning against her, media outlets dragging her name, former rivals accusing her of benefiting from sabotage, social media destroying her overnight, and the worst part, Dani wouldn't even know how much of it is true. That uncertainty is what kills people emotionally in soap operas. Not knowing whether your accomplishments were real or manufactured, not knowing if anyone ever loved you honestly, not knowing whether your entire life story belongs to you anymore. I actually think the writers are building toward Dani having a complete identity crisis. Because once the illusion breaks, what does she have left? Her trust in Andre? Gone. Her belief in her comeback? Destroyed. Her confidence? Shattered. Even her memories become corrupted because now she'll question every single moment Andre entered her life. Was it real? Was any of it real? And here's the kicker that absolutely wrecks me emotionally. Andre's silence at the end. That image of him simply staring at Dani because he knows he helped ruin her life before anyone else ever could. Wow, that is devastating soap writing if executed correctly. Because deep down, I think Andre finally understands something horrible. Even if he loves Dani now, he still participated in the destruction of her freedom. He took away her ability to choose her own path, honestly. That's unforgivable in a way cheating never could be. And I have to say this, if the writers are smart, they will not redeem Andre too quickly. Please don't rush this. Let the damage breathe. Let Dani rage. Let her hate him. Let her completely fall apart emotionally before any redemption arc even begins. Because if she forgives him after 2 episodes and 1 emotional speech, this entire storyline loses its power. This needs consequences. Real consequences. I also think there is a strong possibility Andre himself was manipulated by Tatum years ago. That would explain the fear, the paranoia, the obsession with avoiding photographs. Maybe Andre has spent years trying to disappear because he knows Tatum destroys anyone who becomes a liability. And honestly, I wouldn't even be shocked if Tatum possesses evidence capable of sending multiple fashion industry figures to prison. That's how big this storyline feels. It's not just about romance anymore. It's about power, control, image, identity, and the terrifying cost of reinvention. What makes this plot so brilliant is that it attacks Dani's deepest emotional vulnerability, her desperate need to feel chosen and valued again after losing the spotlight. Tatum weaponized that vulnerability. Andre enabled it. And now, Dani may have to confront the horrifying possibility that her dream comeback was actually a carefully designed trap. That is dark. And you know what's even crazier? I think this storyline could permanently transform Dani into a much colder character moving forward. Trauma like this changes people in soap operas, sometimes forever. We may be watching the birth of an entirely new Dani, someone less trusting, more ruthless, more emotionally guarded, a woman rebuilt from betrayal. And honestly, I kind of want to see that version of her. Because if Dani survives this scandal, survives Andre's betrayal, survives Tatum's manipulation, and still rises again, she won't just be a comeback queen anymore. She'll become dangerous. And that could change everything in Beyond the Gates.